G'day and welcome to my channel. Normally my long form videos go to Patreon and my Patreon subscribers can see them, and then I shrink them down for the main channel to make them a bit more palatable and more polished, and music and subtitles and things like that. But today I thought I'd do something different, go back a bit old school and just release a long form video straight to the channel. So if you like these sort of long form videos, this is what my patrons get from every brew day. And it's my first edit, and then later on I shrink it down even further and do the music to it and pretty pictures and all that sort of thing. So if you like this sort of thing, go and check out my Patreon. Thank you very much. G'day and welcome back to my brewery. Today's one out of the box. Yesterday, thanks to Bintani and New Zealand hops, I went to a sensory panel for the 2025 New Zealand hops, Nectaron, Nelson, Sav, and all the usual goodies, Motueka. I get hassled by the way I say that. At the end of the session, usually they all get thrown out. Yesterday I grabbed them. I said, I'm going to take them home and brew something with them. So I'm going to do that today. A little bit of a throw together recipe. It's going to be a big IPA, of course, but there's another reason that this popped into my head. I was talking again to the Lallman rep. G'day, Rich. And should I call him Rich? I don't know. If he likes being called Rich. Anyway, I was talking to the Lallman rep, and you know, it wasn't that I bagged Pomona, it was that I didn't like the peachiness it brought to beers. I've been watching a lot and involved in a lot of online sort of forums about Pomona, and they've been saying lately that you can get citrus out of it. And one of the good hops to use to get citrus out of it is Motueka. Guess what? I've got all this Motueka here today. That's some of it's fresh, some of it isn't, and I got a big bag, probably mostly of like a dried whole hop Nectaron. So let's go. Motueka and Nectaron. How could this go wrong? Well, so that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to mash hop with some Motueka. I'm going to go late with some Motueka. I'm going to whirlpool hot the whole cone Nectaron, which I did bag it up last night, which is those and those. They're the whole cone Nectaron. It looks a lot and it puffs up a lot, but it's only about 85, 90 gram. I also got a small amount of Superdelic whole hop dry. These are dried, of course. And some more Motueka, and that'll all go in the whirlpool, a hot whirlpool, about 90 degrees. I'm going to throw them in. I'm going to let that spin until it gets down to about 85. So it's probably going to be 10-15 minutes. Then I'm going to chuck in some more pellets of Citra and Motueka. Just let's test it out. Let's test this theory out. How could we go wrong? Nectaron, Motueka, Citra. And I'm going to use the 1 packet of Pomona yeast I've got left. It's only 1 packet. It's probably a little bit of an underpitch, but I'm going to pitch warm. Go and watch my other video about that. Pitch a little bit warm. Stress it a little bit to really get it going, which you shouldn't really do all the time, but some yeasts like it, and I'm going to see if Pomona likes it. 1 should be enough anyway, even though I would prefer, in a normal situation, to probably use 2. I am using the 65 litre Brewzilla for it, just to make it easier for me. It is a full bucket of crushed grain, but it really is only about 6.4, just under 6.4 kilo of grain. So you could do it in the 35 litre, and you just have to work it a bit harder. I don't want to work hard today. I want to get this beer done and into the fermenter. Let's go. Alright, scored pretty well at the New Zealand 2025 hop testing. Got some older ones, but plenty of them. And some super fresh, straight in from New Zealand, just dried Superdelic, Nectaron and Motueka. They're 2025, they're 224, 223. Did alright. Smelling sensational. As I said, 65 litre. There's a fair bit of salts in this. I'm doing it very much like the Bells Beach Raglan, water-wise, I mean. This hasn't got any oats in it or wheat or anything like that. And I don't care if this drops clear, I'd actually nearly prefer it. But it's still going to be, hopefully, kind of like a juicy one. But with enough bitterness too. There should be a good 50, 60 IBUs in this. It's a bit hard to calculate with the hops I'm using. I'm not pushing it too far, just in case it goes overboard. But I'm putting plenty in. Give it a good mix up. I haven't chosen the length of the hose yet. I'll wait till I get my grain in. I'll just give it a bit of run through the pump for a minute or two. Make sure the temperatures are evened out, the water's mixed up properly. We'll get the grain in. So my strike temp I went up around 72.5, 73. I'd rather go a little bit higher than a little bit lower. 72.5 will do. Let's get that pump going. We're nearly there anyway. We're at 71.6. Won't take a second. I think that'll do. I could use rice hulls here, but it's one of the benefits of using the 65 litre. I don't really need to. A nice wide mash base. Actually, no, I wouldn't. Not with this crush. What am I saying? This is a lovely crush. I don't know. I showed you early up close up before. It's just a lovely crush, so I'm not worried about it at all. Let's go. I think we're right. So as I said, now I turn that down to my 60. Might go 69.5, just for a change. 69.5. I've got 25 litres of water in there, I never mentioned that before. So there's plenty of water. Sparge is about 12.3 litres. You see those darker bits maybe? That's just the little bit of Simpson's medium crystal I used. Some of the bits look very dark compared to the other malts. I just did that for just a little bit of colour. All my beers have been nearly 100% Atlas malt lately, with maybe a tiny bit of chit or a tiny bit of wheat or a tiny bit of oats. So as with my last beer, I added a bit more than this, but I just wanted just a little touch. The honey malt was just because I had it hanging around. Oh, it was in my honey beer. That's right. When I made that honey lager, I bought some honey malt which I normally wouldn't buy, but we'll try it in this and see how it goes. Probably won't even notice it's there, to be honest. I don't think. With 300 grams and all the hops I'm throwing in. All right, I've just got to get the mash hops. And I've got to say, these smell absolutely wonderful. Let's get them in. 30 grams I'm putting in. Let's see if we can release the Kraken. The thiles. There they say. Put some in the mash. SARS, Cascade, Motueka, a hop like that is usually good. They're usually lower in alpha and higher in some of the other things that we need. I nearly threw my whole hops, my leaf hop in here, because there's apparently leaf hop's good, to help with clarification of your wort and stuff. But I don't really know anything much about it except that it's leaf hop, and I know it's been probably opened a week or two maybe, so I'm just taking a little bit of a safer route with these nice fresh pellets that have come straight from the supplier. So they've come from the hop supplier, and even though these are 2023 ones, because the flavour will be there, and they have not moved around shops and been stored on shelves and things like that. They've all been stored properly from the grower straight to the supplier. So I have no doubt that these will be great. For my dry hop ones, I'm going to use the 2024 ones. For the Whirlpool, I'm going to use the 2025 ones. If I had pellet 2025, they're not out yet, I would use them for the dry hop, but I can only use the freshest I've got, yeah? And I don't really want to dry hop with leaf hop. It's just a pain. And that's where you get grassiness, especially wet hops. Mine aren't wet, but I'm not too worried about that grassiness thing. It's a bit of a demon in the room that everyone worries about that I've never really had an issue with. And even when you do get it, sometimes it's quite pleasant. It's not that it's always a bad thing. Depends what you want out of the hop at the time. Alright, I think that'll do. I can't see any dry spots yet. I'll give it another mix later as always. Don't want this mash to get too cool. I want to try and keep some oomph in it. Alright, that'll do. Just got to get a piece of hose that's the right length. Let's turn the heat down too. Oh, not that's the temperature. The element heat down now to probably 40 or 30 even. Maybe we'll go 35 in the middle. 35%. My mash target is 69.5. Pump's always on 100%, but I control it by the tap here. Turn that back, it's too fast. Let's wash all this goodness back in. All this dust is goodness. It's goodness here, and it's bad news for your fermenter. So don't get that gut dust in your fermenter. That's how you get infections. One of the ways. Alright, let's just leave this 5 minutes or so, settle in. Don't take your eye off it. 10 minutes or so, I should say. I'll take a pH reading. Let's have a look. Going fine. They've only backed up about 1/2 centimetre, which is absolutely normal. I'll take a little bit for pH. I'll probably give it a little bit of a stir too. It's funny how just that tiny little bit of crystal, maybe the tiny little bit of honey, the colour's so different. I'm not going to scrape the bottom. It's probably not necessary in this mash, but stirring is always, just about always a good thing. Keep an eye, as I say always, so just in case I've disturbed it enough that it starts backing up or something, but I think it'll be just fine in here. Quite dark, doesn't it? But that'll lighten up. There we go. So it was a little bit under what I'd planned for, 5.3, but 5.25 is fine. Nothing to see here. We're going to just put it up in the mash out. Looking good. So I'm going to go up into mash out, and that's just simply turn up the percentage again on the elements. I can go up to 100 for all I care at the moment. And my target, somewhere wherever it stops, 76, 77. Mash out. Alright, that is mash out done. They're looking even clearer now. As always, mash out is good. still a touch more gold in your life. Right. I'm calling it. Hose out. Pump off. We're around 24 litres in my HLT, so if I sparge to 12, about 12 litres. Grab my gloves. Better safe than sorry. That's better like that. It's too tall. Anyway, I'll put this 12 litres through and we'll be back. Probably a bit hard to see, but I got distracted by kids for a little while, but I got that 35, 34, 33, just over 32 litres. I was aiming for where's the pre-boil? I kind of hate brew father sometimes. I think it's so hard. 33, 32 litres, so I'm a little bit under. I should have sparged a little bit more, about a litre more. But we'll see where we're at. With our numbers, I can always add an extra litre. Fucking fingers twisted. So I'm bringing it up to the boil now. Once it starts boiling, I'll knock the power down a bit. You don't really need a full boil or all the elements on when you're only doing a half batch. Oh, now we're really starting to get to the boil. Alright, I reckon I'm going to call that the start of the boil. Start my timer. 10 minutes before the end, I'm putting in my worth lock and yeast nutrient, etc. It's got the 5-minute hop addition, 15 grams of Motueka. Motueka. 5 minutes to the end. Alright, that is the end of the boil. I don't know why the alarm's not working anymore, but it isn't. Turn the power off, wait till it stops boiling. Oh, that looks like enough. Let's get the... see if that's going to get the whirlpool going. Pop a dash of lactic in there. And I'd be adding a lot of hops. Oh, the aroma coming off that. Alright, I've spun that till it's gone down to about 90 degrees, so it's time to get these hops in. Oh, the smell is wonderful. Things are going to get messy. Be back when we get down. I'll give it about, should set a timer, about 10 minutes, and I'll come back and get some more in. Alright, that's been about 10 minutes now, and you can never have enough hops. So there's some more Motueka, 50 grams of T90 and 25 grams of Citra. I'm going to give that another 10 minutes, spinning, and then we'll let it sit for 10 minutes. Incidentally, we're about 81, 82 degrees. Anyone needs to know? The recipe I planned for 85, it doesn't matter. Alright, that's been 10 minutes now, so I'm just going to stop the pump and just let it settle a bit, probably another 10 minutes or so. It's not going to really clear, I don't think, with all this junk in it, but about 10 minutes just to let it start to clear a bit. Might drop down in the bottom, create some sort of filter with the hop cones. We'll see how we go. Alright, that is it. That's after, I've got 46 seconds to go. I'm starting to set up the chiller, and we'll just chill it. Hasn't settled out much. I didn't think it would get too clear. If I left it here for longer, it probably would. But I'm sure down the bottom it started to settle down, and so that'll act like a filter. There we go. About 20, 22. I could slow it down, but I'm happy with that. Wanted to go in a little bit warm. That's actually showing through the top of the cone, and we're still at about 15 litres left. So I mightn't even get as much wort as I thought. I'm going to lose a lot, I think. I might have to slow the pump right down, because some would keep draining through, you know what I mean? Slowly. So we'll slow the pump right down at the end. I might be able to get a bit more out as it drains. That's a fair whack. Considering, yeah, we've just dropped below 15 litres. I think it's struggling already. We might, I don't know, the hose is jumping around a little bit. We might back off the hose, back off the flow a little, slow it down. Just a touch. Still coming out. I don't know, oh, it's going to focus on the right spot. See, we're still coming out. I should get a potato masher or something or stand on it. Squeeze some of that goodness out. I've got what I can, but I'm just going to let it drain for a little while and then try turning the pump on. So I might leave it like 10 minutes and then try turning the pump on again. We've got a fair bit in there. I can't really tell how much, but there's a fair bit. That probably hasn't been long enough. I don't know what it's been, only about 5 minutes, but I'm going to see if I can get some more out. Yeah, there's more coming in. Don't know how much. I might leave I'll do that again a couple of times, see how we go. Now that sounds empty. I've got some more out. I'll turn it off before I stuff my pump. And we are 1060. 1 point down. That's good. Happy, happy, happy. Get the pomona in. Put the pill in. Something like, yeah, that'll be all right. Done, done, done. Chockers. You can either undo that, but that's going to be a nice more pressure. Yeah, if you're worried about the pressure, if you've had it at high pressure, I'd let some out there first, but I'm not too worried about this. It probably will pop, but it's not that high a pressure, I don't think. A bit messier than I usually do better than that. I was trying to show you is you'd pull up the plastic bag a bit higher. First I do it with water. Oh shit, I just knocked that over. I'm not having much luck today. It's not usually hoppy. And you can do it with some alcohol if you want. Just a bit. Probably not really needed. Oh, I'm going to screw that right down because if I bump it, I'll fix it up later. Go too hard sometimes, that dust is going to end up everywhere like it just did. But it can get a lot worse than that. No passenger. But not quite finished because I screwed this right down. We're up about 7, which is probably okay to be honest. But I just need to find out what this is set to. Actually, I might put a little bit more in, get it up to 10. Going into cold crush and stuff. Alright, yeah, so this is 2. Now, the only trouble is it gets messy with this one. Oh, there we go. Oh, just leave it there. Started bubbling. Probably can't see it, but that was set to about, I don't know, 11 or something.